You guys out there ready for spring? If you are, let me start you off this time backwards. I'm going to give you my niche fragrances first. You want to hear what they are? You know what to do. Welcome back, NYC Fragrance family. Joe with another top 10 list. Spring 2020 niche. So you're going to see some familiar ones on this list. They may have been on last year's spring list, but you're also going to see some new ones. I am ranking them basically from 10 down to 1. Again, I've been doing this recently where I use Fragrantica's ratings in order to give them an order. Because for me, if I give you 10, I love all 10 of them. There's not one that I don't love more than the other. They're all just as good to me. So number 1 is number 10, number 10 is number 1. You get the drift. So for me, based on Fragrantica ratings, this is how we're gonna go. At number 10, from the house of Zoologist, comes Panda. Panda is a perfect spring scent in my opinion. It lasts long for something that has freshness in it. Beautiful bamboo accord. It's something different and it'll separate you from the rest. For me, probably one of the easiest wears from the house of Zoologist. Although lately with bee and squid, they have come a little bit more user-friendly, let's say. But this one for me has always been the standout. Number 10, Zoologist Panda. At number 9, in my opinion, the most underrated Creed fragrance. Creed Royal Mayfair. Creed Royal Mayfair, you got rose note, outright eucalyptus up front. What more can speak spring and be a beautiful fragrance to have? Creed's Royal Mayfair. And right now at discounters, it is one of the cheaper Creeds to get your hands on. Well worth it, in my opinion. At number 8, from the house of Etat Libre d'Orange. Probably one of the best, if not the best, mint fragrance on the market. You or someone like you. Like that wrap around the corner label that they have. Again, beautiful mint, perfect for the springtime. Has always been a good dumb reach for me in the spring and a compliment getter. At number 7, a recent pickup for me, but a house that I have loved to discover in this past year. Probably my favorite niche house at the moment. And that fragrance is from the house of Nishane, and it is Umbra Calabria. Umbra Calabria, the name says it. Calabrian amber. When you put that in mind, Calabria, you think bergamot. Amber, you got vanilla. So what you have here is a combination of a great, perfect bergamot note combined with a seductive vanilla note. And for the spring, it is outstanding. It could be worn all season as well, but this one I think is going to be ripe and ready for the spring. So at number 7, Nishane's Umbra Calabria. At number 6, this year at Essence, I got to discover the brand. I got to recognize the person behind the brand. I've met him a few times. I now chat with him a lot, and he makes some of the most creative fragrances out there. Very, it's an indie brand. He's also made fragrances for other brands like Sarah Baker and Acampura. And I'm talking about Miguel Matos, and his fragrance for spring, in my opinion, is Sailor Stories. Now, Sailor Stories could very, very easily be a spring or summer fragrance. It has this beautiful citrus in it, again, pure citrus, but then there's this marine-like quality to it, and then there's like a touch of animalic vibe to it. But what I'll say is this is definitely one of those fragrances that is signature scent worthy for the summertime, and I find myself reaching for this one, and I'll be wearing this one a lot come spring and summer because it just works so well and I enjoy it. And the price point that this comes in for an indie brand of this quality, with this performance and this scent profile, you can't beat it. Definitely look into it, get yourself a sample if you can. Sailor Stories, Miguel Matos. At number 5, from the house of Histoires De Parfums, 1828. Now, I've talked about 1828 before on the channel. I believe, to me, man, something about this fragrance, it's just so dynamic. It just speaks to me, because it's almost like a combination of different fragrances that I love in that barbershop Fougere mindset that just pulls it all together for me, and it's just perfect. And again, like, I have this travel spray and it's almost embarrassing, but I will graduate to the bigger bottle. My favorite, I would say hands down, of the house. I do enjoy all the fragrances from the house, but I think 1828 is the one that speaks the most to me. At number 4, from a indie house or niche house that's local, NYC, I've met with the owner, Joe Cortana, and he's got some stuff coming out on the way, which I'm excited to smell and check out. But the fragrance that I have always found to be my favorite from his house, and it is a spring staple as far as I'm concerned, is Mandrake. Mandrake has a rhubarb note, which is very prominent, and that's what I think differentiates it from other fragrances of this type. It's, again, perfect for the spring. It's got the green freshness, it's got rhubarb. It is just a nice fragrance for the spring. That's my number 4, or ranked number 4, because of its Fragrantica rating. Parfums Cortana Mandrake. At number 3, this one here, I mean, you could see from the level in the bottle that I put a dent in this one, and it's just a good fragrance overall. It's just, again, I'm a Fougere lover, so what more important Fougere fragrance other than Houbigant Fuji Royale is there out of all Fougere fragrances? I mean, this fragrance, I remember when I first sprayed it, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe what's going on here. Like, it just took me over with everything about it. It's just speaks business, masculine, I am powerful, I am in charge, I'm the man type fragrance. It is fantastic in my opinion. It's been reformulated as of 2010, but it still works very well. I don't know anything about the old original fragrance or how that smells or if it's the same or how it performs, but this one does very well for me. I was able to get it at a good price, and I'm very happy to have it in the collection. Number 3, Houbigant Fuji Royale. At number 2, this one I featured recently as one of my favorite neroli fragrances, and it is by far one of the better neroli fragrances. It does get compared to Jean Paul Gaultier's La Malle, and if you know what I'm talking about, it's Amouage Reflection Man. You see I put a dent in that one. I mentioned it the last video. It's just a pure, perfect office fragrance. Number 2 on my spring niche list, Amouage Reflection Man, and I'm sure it's going to get dented a little more this spring. Last but not least, which got the highest Fragrantica rating out of all the fragrances in this list, but like I said, number 10 could have very easily been number 1. From the house of Xerjoff, this has been on the list before, 1861 Renaissance. This is spring in a bottle, hands down. I decanted this, I brought it with me to Milan last year. I wore it while I was in Milan for Essence at least twice in the time that I was there, because I was there not just for the 4 days of the event, but I was there for about 10 days overall, and it performed like a charm. Xerjoff fragrances, as you know, they perform very well, and you see I am a fan of Xerjoff. So 10 through 1, I gave you my 10 spring niche recommendations. I hope you found some value in this. I hope you have some of these. Let me know in the comments what you think of the fragrances. If you have any other recommendations, niche, for the spring. I'm always open to hearing about new suggestions. So, NYC Fragrance family, remember, if you smell good, you feel good. Have a nice day.